Hey y'all, your girl G here. Welcome back to my channel. And y'all know what time it is. We're gonna get right into Potomac. This gonna be a quick little recap. Because I'm a little bit behind. I still need to review Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Not too much happened over there, but I still want to get into it. And then also, y'all, Monique, boy, when I tell you what's his name? Cat Williams is open the door for January, and it has been hell on wheels ever since. Now Monique is turning up to Club Shay Shay. Oh yeah, we gonna definitely have to talk about that. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into Potomac. So we open up the episode with the light brights. We all know what I'm talking about. They all meet at the fabric store for GNA. This gonna be the tackiest clothing line. They going in there and of course discussing stuff. We got Mia and Robin. They show up and they basically just get to talking about the line, what they want to do. They gotta put a little panel in the middle for the coochie sweat, for the butt, for the swamp booty that happens when you work out. And then of course they get to talking about being invited to Wendy's event and also what it was like in Surrey. And Ashley, of course, doing her usual, being messy. Or Mia, Karen was quite upset. It had something to say about your response to the text message. And Mia was basically, I don't give a damn that she's offended. Like, I'm first round pick. So yeah, we already know that it was a little of tension in regards to that. And then you throw in, of course, Wendy and her issue with Nneka. At first, everybody thought she wasn't going to be invited, but then when they looked at the group chat message, Nneka was added. So Wendy said, in the spirit of Karen, she was going to invite everybody. And to me, it was given real. This was a scene that everybody had to show up to. That's what it was given, because Giselle was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go, because you guys are there." Well, that's kind of what Giselle. We all know what's happening with that whole Giselle situation. It's too much power over there. It is too much power. Giselle gotta go. She gotta, okay, you hear me? She gotta go, okay? But yeah, so she gonna show up to Wendy thing. Robin, her too, y'all know they butt buddies and stuff, and Robin can't think for herself when it comes to Giselle. So yeah, everybody's gonna go to Wendy's little party, for the weed. So after that, what else happened this episode? Oh, we see Nneka. Y'all know she's having her little bubbly line. Nneka be having hit or miss looks for me, and the type of makeup is giving real heavy foundation. You might need to use like a more mid coverage or like an airbrush situation, because it's not working on screen. But nonetheless, what I do like though is seeing a woman who's like on her business. When we be having these shows, we be like, what do? Like how you make your money, who make the money, like what's your life looking like. I do think that we saw a better version of Nneka this episode. And honestly, if Nneka had come in more like this, girl, you wouldn't have the target on your back that you do. Like the way you came in literally just put the biggest target on your back, because you worked right into what production wanted, was to cause a distraction and deflection from what them two little green-eyed bandits did. And we know Robin, she ain't gonna talk about her situation with Juan in real actual detail. And then Giselle, she's not trying to go over the fact that you accuse somebody of basically SA, like she not trying to get back into it, because Giselle got read for filth, okay? Both Wendy and Candace read her ass down boots, and she don't want none of that business no more. So that's why Giselle is not going for it. It's not with this goddamn for my safety type bull, because them girls ain't did nothing to threaten your safety. They're not accountable for the things that viewers think of you on their own. And there's no way that Wendy and Candace, even with that being upset at you, would validate trolls saying threatening things like about your safety, or taking your life or anything like that. Those girls wouldn't co-sign that, but they definitely will co-sign a good reading, because that's what you deserve, Giselle. You kicked up dust, and now you mad that it's blowing back in your eyes. So yeah, moving on. What else happened this episode? Candace talks to Chris and basically lets Candace, y'all, she doing the damn thing. Like I've been on Twitter and I've been seeing her pictures. She's been at the parties, after parties, rubbing elbows with the music industry. Like, we can say what you want, but Candace came on here and did what you're supposed to do when you have a platform like this. You run it, you milk it for all it's worth, okay? Giselle. You a little late to the party with G&A, but anyway, so yeah, she was talking with Chris and basically was checking in on how he felt about what she said, see your forehead and ankles. Like Karen said, with your stovepipe legs, Giselle. And he was like, it's gonna be whatever. Like, if they say hi, I'm gonna say hi, but like, I'm gonna just be in the room. And that's all he can do, honestly. But he was like, the fact that we gonna be, smoking, I ain't never seen a mad high person. So yeah, then they is this when they do the party? Yeah. So everybody shows up to the marijuana party, and Wendy, y'all, the Wendy and the looks, her and Eddie, that gold, it is just so gorgeous. Wendy's body yaddy yaddy, she did it the right way. She didn't do too much. She did just enough. Because some girls they do too much, okay? But Wendy showed up looking good in the white dress, body on point. Everybody showing up. And Karen, she could show up after Ashley, and Mia's there after Candace came in and made her appearance. She was like, "Oh, I'm coming or whatever, but I can't stay for long because she has to be on Hush, that scripted show. I think that's on like BT Plus or something like that." And so she came in, and Wendy's like, "Girl, you got your goodie bag though." She's like, "Oh, what? I get to leave with some goodie bags?" And she just had me rolling when she was like tiptoeing out, and she was like, "Ooh, let me put the weed in the bag." The way she was tiptoeing had me hurt. But yeah, everybody was showing up after Ashley and Mia, conversed. Here come Karen. And she's like, "Mia, let me get this out the way." She was like, "Girl, I do not appreciate you, trying to come for me. And Mia was like, "Girl, you can't girl, you the one with the problem because you try to sit there and invite me only after Giselle said no." And Karen was speaking over her, and when somebody speaks over you, it's because they don't want you to say the truth. She was pulling that charade bull stuff, and I hate that when somebody tries to talk louder than you because they know you got a point. So yeah, Karen was just, "Oh my God, you." She was like, "Cause girl, I ain't no backup." She's like, "Girl, you ain't no, you wasn't the first string, second string." Or she's like, "I'm not like second string." She's like, "Girl, you ain't first or second string. You was backup." And it was like, Karen, you literally just proved her point. Like, sometimes Karen be trying to read so hard that she literally sticks her foot in her mouth, and then we just be like, "Oh, that's just crazy Karen." It's madness. Because Karen, girl, we know what it was since Giselle and Robin opted out. We not finna take a trip with only 3 girls down to Surrey. So let me try to hurry up and invite everybody else is what clearly happened. So Mia was like, "Girl, you an old dog, get some new tricks." And Karen hit her with that, "But you are the trick." Ashley and Wendy literally were just that whole argument. They were just sitting on the side looking like, ooh, ooh. They was like just like a tennis match, just going back and forth. And when Karen said, "Girl, you are the trick," everyone was like, "God dang." And literally in the midst of them arguing, here come Nneka coming in. She gave a nice little, greet, "Hi, thank you for inviting me." Then Giselle comes in. Ashley, she came out, "Oh, there's no reason for me to speak to Chris after the last thing I said to him." And they do the flashback, and that's when Ashley sat there and tried to allege that he was all bumping up on Sesame Street. Girl, Sesame Street, Ashley set you up for failure because it definitely was giving a scheme that Todd set up to come with us with the bullshit. Okay. And girl, Sesame Street, you blew it. Try to be partners in crime with Ashley. But yeah, but it still don't change the fact that Ashley, you and Giselle definitely were coming for Chris in a very just aggressive, ugly manner. That's just the only way I could put it. So Chris, he keeping his distance, and Giselle come in, don't say hi to Wendy, and Wendy's like, "Bitch, how you not gonna say hi to me at my own event?" And at first I was like, because when they played the playback of Wendy ignoring Giselle, I'm like, but the difference though is that was somebody else's event. You know, they were going to like a group situation. This is in particular Wendy's event. So not saying hi to the host is definitely, you know, not with the decorum that the Grand Dame would say, but we don't expect them to speak, like for real. So everybody comes in, they sit down. And even though it's legal, they was gonna roll some oregano. I think it's one of those situations where it's legal recreationally up to a certain extent, but it's still decriminalizing and legal recreational like are two different things. So I'm just going to assume that's why they didn't have it, or also maybe production didn't want like it to be like actual, you know, weed on the screen. And Beverly Hills, though, you know, Sub put out a whole ass joint, okay? But I guess because you couldn't see the weed, maybe that was different. Plus, in California, it's legal, you know? But yeah, so everybody was like, oh, should we rolling up oregano spices and stuff? Where the chicken at? You know, everybody just making jokes. But it was a cute little yang, you know. And Wendy kind of was like, you know, everybody, just want to thank you for coming. I just want to say, you know, this is the first time that I've heard everybody laugh like this in a long time. Here go Giselle Ho, just mean spirited ass talking about, oh, everybody's laughing. Who was laughing? I wasn't laughing, girl. Watch the playback. Giselle over there, and it's like Giselle is just one of those women that if she decided she don't like you, it's always going to be, you know, misery and bitter. That's just what it is. And then not to mention when she said that shit about Chris, when she walked in, it was like, oh, it seems like since the last time I saw Chris, you know, he's gained some weight. Probably all that stress eating. And I'm like, if he's stress eating, bitch, it's because of you. Like, do you not understand what you did to that man? Like, do you not grasp the depth of the allegations that you made, and then you made them without grounds? Because every time somebody asked you what it was that he did, Giselle knew what she was doing because she was leaving out information that was enough for everybody else to make their own assumptions. And when you leave stuff for people to make their own assumptions, they're gonna think the worst. She was purposely trying to play semantics where it's like, oh, I'm uncomfortable being in a room with somebody's husband, versus saying you're uncomfortable, and is a difference from being like, he made me uncomfortable. Those are two different things. And Giselle knew that. And that's why it's just like, it's just like you playing on people's intelligence. Like, you don't know, like, we see you. Like, you see that, we see that, you see that, we see that. What you did was just cap. But when she had the nerve to speak anything about, oh, he looked like he been stress eating, in the back of my head, I said, bitch, because of you. If anything, so G, he leaves early. He kisses me on the way out. So Robin, you know, checks in on me like, oh, you know, well, cause y'all know Mia told her about her and oh dude, you know, not doing well. And Mia was like, yeah, you know, of course things is kind of hard, you know, it's marriage or whatever. You know, I did get to a point where it's kind of like, you know, deuces, I'm out. Get that bread, get that, then leave. Peace out, okay? And now that there's no longer no bread, and not Dr. G, and old G over there, he definitely, with the way his mouth looking, ain't giving no head. Mia wanted to say peace out. But she was like, you know, I'm staying around because I just feel so bad because he has nobody. You know, he's just been so, you know, disowned from his whole family. Like, nobody speaks to him. They've all like abandoned him, and I just can't do that right now, you know, to him. So it's just kind of like, what happened with that business? Because something is up, especially with the way that Mia was speaking at the little dinner that they had with each other, which we'll get into. Something over there with the way G was operating wasn't clean. That's all I'm gonna say. So yeah, after that, everybody gets up to leave, and Nneka pulls Wendy to the side and was like, you know, I would love to speak with you. And this is what sometimes Wendy does, this thing that bothers me where she does this, what's the word I'm looking for? Posturing, that's the word. She kind of does this posturing thing, and it's very, PC, how the politicians posture in a way of like trying to emulate that you're better than something, but you really not. And it's like, Wendy, I know I get it in this mindset of like, I'm confused because it's like, okay, you're offended by what she did, you're mad at her, but then you invited her to the event. So of course, Nneka might see that as an opening to be like, okay, that's something, some type of olive branch. But then when she asked to speak with you, it's like, well, let me think about it. Which is another reason why it made me feel like, it wasn't really Wendy that invited Nneka. It was production basically saying everybody gonna be here because everybody didn't show up to Surrey. And she was like, well, the fact that we're even, you're trying to talk with me, and after, the whole bitch comment and you not apologize. She's like, I didn't apologize. That's why I'm trying to sit down and talk with you, because you said steps were skipped. So I'm coming back to the first step, which is asking you to go talk. And so when he's like, okay, but only if it's an insincerity, and we'll just have, we'll see. I'll have to think about it. And it's just kind of like one of those things. Sometimes Wendy does do stuff that just really irks me. And this was kind of one of those moments, but I digress. So after y'all, Mia goes out with G, they've been going to therapy, and she's been wanting, they're trying to do better with, date nights and stuff. But they can only go out during the day because they ain't got no nanny no more. Okay, the money's dried up, so we can go on these little day dates while the kids is at school. So of course they just sitting down talking about therapy and everything, how it's played out, and she's kind of feeling like, we did get in a rough spot. It was very emotionally draining. You definitely were having your moments of like, I'm the man, I'ma handle everything, I pay for everything. And that's the last thing as a woman. That's like where you always feel like there's no security in a man paying for everything, because the truth is, y'all will abuse the power. That is just really honestly a lot of men, get this head of the household role, and don't they let the power go to their head. And to like throw, I get it, well, like, me, that's the situation you were put in, because like you knew what both y'all signed up for. You were the beauty, and he was, the bag. Okay. But yeah, she was like, I just didn't like that, and well, he was like, oh, she was like talking about, the divorce. He was like, yeah, of course I didn't know about it until I saw the receipt. But she was like, I just really felt like you were in a place of not taking, self accountability. And that's where a little light bulb went off, because it was like, Mia thinks some of that is true. I think Mia, because remember Mia said at the beginning of the season that she was like, oh, he wanted to go to legal process and I didn't think that was the best idea. That's because deep down Mia know it might be some, funky dunky going over there with G and how he handled stuff. Because how all of these people just drop you, And she was like, I just didn't like that he wasn't taking accountability for like what he possibly did to put us in this position, because it's like, you did that, and then now, we lose our house, and then now I can't, do my role, and it's obviously just a domino effect. That's what men don't understand. Like, y'all sit here and talk about making decisions, but at the end of the day, your decisions affect me. Point blank, period. So I should be able to say something, because you do understand the decision you make affects my life. And I'm just not going to be in the passenger seat while I'm watching this car go over the cliff. So yeah, she was just kind of like saying that, and that's where I was like, that he did it. That did it, okay? But yeah, so then they get to talking about Ashley, and she was like, oh, Ashley, I was kind of confused with her because she told me she was helping Michael after surgery with his back. And it's like, I be damn, like, my nigga cheat on me. Like, you better get one of them other hoes to take care of you, which I agree with. And so G was like, well, what do she was like, do you think they'll ever get divorced? And he was like, hell nah, like, that's the sugar daddy. She know what's up. And that is true. Like, they ain't getting no divorce. That's why Ashley need to be gone next season, because they are not getting a divorce. Point blank, period. She got to be where the money reside, because not only is he taking care of her, I guarantee he's still taking care of Mama Sharon over there with her cracked out Whitney wig over there. That's all I'm saying. So Ashley can't leave that. Um and so G was like, yeah, well, I wonder how would have handled it if we were in that situation. And Mia was like, oh, you definitely would have, like, gave me some money or something. He was like, oh, word? He was like, well, for my view, because men and women view things differently, we wouldn't have to worry about that, because we would have come up with some agreement. And it definitely was given, like he said, we would have stayed married. You would have got what you want, which is me, and I would have got, you, which, because you have the beauty, and it's given, y'all would have kept up appearances, y'all married, but behind the scenes, like clearly what G said when y'all later out, when the divorce broke, it's given, we gonna stay in this situation, but I'm gonna just let you do what you do, and I might do what I do, or whatever. Because the way he said, he was like, remember when I brought it up, and you got upset, and me tried to act like she ain't know, but she was like, probably. He was like, yeah, you got upset. Mia knew what he was talking about, but they wasn't trying to just lay it out on the table. And me was getting some dick on the side. That's what it's given. I keep up paying stuff, and we gonna be together, and we just gonna have a little arrangement. All right. So yeah, what y'all think about G and Mia, and what that whole conversation that they had from the table? What did y'all get from that? So lastly, y'all, Nneka has her, little party, whatever, soiree at her place, her unpacking party. And this is where we saw Lebe earlier in the episode too. And it was like a thing, okay, like we finally saw Lebe, so is she gonna be at the party? That's what we were trying to figure out. Because we all know it's like Wendy, this whole Lebe situation is, cracked. So, everybody's showing up. This is probably the best Giselle has ever looked. Like, this second half of the season is probably the best Giselle has ever looked. I don't like that heifer, but I mean, a good look is a good look. Yeah, everybody shows up. Karen comes in. She ignores Sharice. She's like, hi, everybody. Sharice was like, everybody says hello. And so Ashley come in with her booty cheeks out. Y'all know Ashley love being half naked. And yeah, so they all sit down, and Giselle, she was like, Karen, you look good. Have you done anything? You look nice. You look refreshed. What she was given, what Giselle was trying to get to was, bitch, what doctor's table did you get her from? Because Karen was like, where are you going with this, Giselle? She's like, nothing. I was just saying, like, you look good. I just wanted to know the secret. And so Giselle was like, well, what about you and me? Are y'all good? And of course, they go right back to it. Mia's like, because Karen kept trying to say that she was mad and she was hurt. And Mia was like, no, I was just like, that's not what it was. You can't text me, 24 hours notice, like I'm gonna just pick up and dip, and Karen, she didn't want to go back to it because she knew what she did. Oh, we're past that conversation. We already addressed that. Going forward, I just have a thing of like, because I brought you into this group, I deserve a little more respect. And that's one thing I don't like too. Like, just because I come in through you, don't mean I'm not gonna call you out on your bullshit, and don't throw that shit back in my face. Because me coming on the show is just as much beneficial to you as it is to me. So the ladies, they get up, eat. The food looked good, okay? It wasn't no aluminum pans that Robin had for family day, like some backyard barbecue. Like, that was some real, catering. And so as they're eating, Ashley asked me, or Giselle was like, so what y'all arguing about? And Karen's like, oh, this again. And so me is just like, look, girl, you tried to come for me, talking about I'm a trick, and like, it take a trick to no one. And Karen was like, no, because the way y'all come for me, she was like, y'all been doing this for 8 years, and I'm gonna show you how it feels. And so she's like, Mia, I could have said something about what I heard, that you was out there with a rapper. And everybody was like, ooh. And then she's like, I could have said something about you fucking a married man. And I don't know if y'all saw, but Sharice in the background was like by her head. And even Sharice's head turned in the back. If y'all watch that back, y'all, that jump took me out. Because Sharice heard it like, ooh. And even Mia's face was kind of like thrown off. Karen went in right there. She was like, I could have said that, but I didn't because I don't do rumors, Ladies in this group, we need to stop doing rumors. And me was like, it's rumors that one person said it, but it makes me question if I'm hearing it from a lot of people. And so they asked me in the confessional, and Mia was like, first of all, it wasn't a rapper. And then like in the scene, she was like, uh, first of all, we weren't screwing, we were just talking. And so everybody was like, wait a minute, she was telling the truth. And Karen's face even gave, see, I knew it. And so she was like, we weren't screwing, even G was there. So it's kind of giving arrangement. It's kind of giving maybe he like a little voyeurism, a little bit of cuckolding, maybe. Um, yeah, that's what it looked like to me. And so yeah, Karen got into Mia's ass real quick, real quick. 1-2 like. Of course, Wendy didn't show up. Wendy's like, I'm not finna show up to your house and pack your boxes. Call U-Haul. And Kiana was there, which is Wendy's friend, and Giselle, of course, being messy. Well, she should have told the host. She should have told the host. She should have messaged the host. And it's just like, Giselle, shut your chest up before we get to talking shit about you. Y'all know that's like my favorite little meme. Shut your chest up before we get to talking shit about you, okay? And so yeah, other ladies just kind of like huddled around after Karen got Mia's ass real quick. And then they said a toast. After no, I forgot they played the game. They played that the little fishbowl game or whatever, and Ashley messy ass talking about who pays for sex, and everyone was looking like, huh? And then finally Ashley came out, was like, well, Sharice, and Sharice was like, wait a minute, and then she was like, wait a minute, bitch, like. And in the back of my head, I'm like, paying for sex. If anybody paying for sex, Ashley, you might want to look in the mirror, bitch. You pointing a finger, but if anybody getting something paid for it, that's you. But then yeah, you guys, that was the end of the episode. Like I said, it was a quick little 1-2. Next week seemed like it's gonna be, a big shebang between Wendy and Nneka. But y'all drop it in the comments. Was Wendy being difficult this episode? Do y'all feel like, she's ever gonna like let Nneka recover from that? How do you guys feel about Giselle and her looking like she might not ever leave the show? How do you guys think that, Potomac should go moving forward? So I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Follow my Instagram and Twitter, and I will catch y'all later.